The people put in charge with the responsibility of maintaining the space consistently trash it each and every time the sun goes down, only to cleanse a fraction of the vile pit, the bare minimum in order to keep the ongoings of our wasteful existence rolling. When this space was first inhabited, the spirit of reform and prosperity flourished with each passing day. There was a desire to keep the kitchen clean and to maintain a decent sense of cleanliness, which, like the very rock we stand on, eroded with time. What lies now is a neglected and deteriorating collection of week-old cigarette butts, which has become one with the tired ashtray. Suddenly, other interests become the priority, and those people convince each other that a life of intoxication and labor, as well as desire, is more of a priority than the pile of literal shit in the living room. And just like that, my apartment is still trashed. How does one live in an environment that is so repulsive when it is shared among a collective? The shared spaces of these walls become dumping grounds for our clothes, our trash, and our bodies. After days and nights of consistent abuse, the ones in charge of cleaning escape for the night and lie their precious heads in their own bed, which they made extra sure was comfortable for them. No need for alarm when your little world is so very neat and clean, free of those disgusting deeds that reside in the living room. That's someone else's job. And just as before, my apartment is still trashed. Every so often a candle is bought, or a stick of incense is lit to mask the stench of months of clutter and grime, and that seems to satisfy the collective. A little distraction to procrastinate from the grueling and intimidating fact that a day of consistent attention and cleaning is the only real solution, and we all know this, but no one really gives a shit. A pine-scented candle won't fix the hole in our front door. Every so often, a resident reminds the collective of just how far things have fallen. One man can personify years of trash and abuses that alarm the masses. Sometimes one individual can just be so fucking messy and almost cartoonishly unapologetic in the messes that they make. They don't hide their wrappers like the rest of us. They almost get off to the mess. It forces eyes to be on them. Their fraternity-like ego is only aroused by the possibility of stirring the pot. Suddenly, when our mess is finally acknowledged, it becomes repulsive and unacceptable, as if we as a collective didn't lay the kindling of what would be this great mess we've created. We act shocked at how demolished this great apartment had become, as if we didn't deliberately indulge in the filth and contribute to this anti-disinfectionate rhetoric through our own actions. And suddenly, when confronted of our contribution, we justify it by bringing up one or two times we may have wiped up the counter or picked up a can off the floor, as if that one deed did fucking anything in the grand scheme. The apartment is still trashed. Comes of one roommate being kicked out and replaced, and suddenly the topic of cleanliness becomes the number one priority of the collective. We all want to clean and talk of committing to a rigid plan because that's how we as tenants are expected to think, but ironically the dishes still sit there, and the water grows more and more rancid with noodles, eggs, and crusted pasta sauce. But oh boy, do we get into the discussion. We grow passionate, and suddenly rifts are formed, and bridges are burnt as a result. The topic of whether to evict and replace or to entrust this tenant with a second chance is given to the collective, and sides are taken as a result. This endless bickering continues until an eventual conclusion is reached and their decision is made and certified. Finally, a new solution, a new figure to entrust with this responsibility, out with the old and in with the new. Nonetheless, my apartment is still trashed. Finally, that change has come. The morality and actions of the past tenant has been taken care of, and hallelujah, the new era has come, and the good guys finally won. Promises of cleanup plans and ways of repenting against the garbage and the layers of dirt that have collected during the duration of the lease. A sense of euphoria is accepted, and it finally feels as if the ways of the apartment have developed a sense of decency. This home is worthy of respect and responsibility for the first time in what feels like an eternity. But so it goes. My apartment is still trashed.